So, I've been trying not to speak. Well, I wouldn't say trying. I've more or less been avoiding the whole mess happening in MAGA currently, the Republican Party, conservative movement, and all of that. I don't know if you heard that. I'm trying to avoid that mess with the Republican Party, MAGA movement, conservative movement, and all of that. Especially after the death of Charlie Kirk, and how the likes of the Candace-Owens and Tucker Carlson came out to twist and malign and, quite frankly, rape the very movement that was birthed from his unfortunate assassination, and how people started attacking Ben. I mean, they've always attacked Ben, even before the rabid rise, not rapid, the rabid rise of antisemitism globally. They've always attacked Ben, but now even people that's supposed to be on his side attacking him too. But then Ben's statement was the only one that was really attacked from the right, not even the left. The left is attacking everything, but from the right, like, oh, he doesn't, a Jew shouldn't like take up Charlie's mantle. Ben already has a mantle. Ben had a mantle before Charlie even knew what he was going to do with his life. That was why Charlie looked up to Ben. Ben already had a conglomerate before Charlie built his. Ben only said, the movement and what you created, we're not going to let it die. We're going to try our best to continue it. Like Megyn Kelly said, and all the other people said, because Ben is a Jew. No, 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 you shouldn't say that. The Jew shouldn't take over what Charlie did. But a raging Nazi like Nick Fuentes and Nazi supporters like Candace and Tucker should. They have successfully divided that party. Candace continues to insinuate that Erica and TPUSA had something to do with Charlie's assassination, saying that the man who's been arrested, they call him boy, but he's a man, he's in his 20s. He's not real, and all the other things they're saying. And her cult has followed her. Tucker himself keeps saying that, oh, Israel did it, looks like Candace, and even attacking Ben as well. Ben, like, went on Megan's current tour she did, podcast tour, and Tucker was there too. And Tucker said his usual crazy stuff. I'm not gonna repeat it and keep that light. But Ben actually challenged Megan, why are you not talking about Candace? Megan was like, oh, I don't know, blah blah blah. I don't know about all this stuff. I'm not the internet mother, whatever. And Ben was like, well, if there's gonna be a Democrat talking about it, you will. I mean, Megyn Kelly always finds time to harp on Meghan Markle, and I support it. I am not a supporter of Meghan Markle, and I like that people have already seen the fraud that she is. But if you're going to have time to do pop culture gossip that, quite frankly, doesn't really affect anybody's life, you don't have time to talk about what Candace is doing to someone, to the legacy of someone you said was your friend, who you literally cried when he found out he died and said you're going to push all he thought. But no, she said she doesn't know. She was always interrupting Ben Ben Shapiro when he was pointing out things about what Tucker and Candy said. Even when Megan tried to make it all that old Ben was just, attacking Tucker personally. And Ben brought out facts. Because one thing about Ben, he has the receipts. He brought out the text messages of how Tucker reached out to him after Charlie's death about, oh, they should just, let sleeping dogs lie and move forward and everything. And how he was very welcoming of that. And how when he started trying to reach out to Tucker, he stopped. Well, because probably that was the time Tucker had fully gone full blown lunatic in his hate for Israel and the Jewish faith. But anyway, Megan doesn't care. I mean, after all of that, and she rightfully got, torn apart on Twitter and all social media platforms. She, in her next show, came out to say, oh no, what Ben said is not right. He was wrong. He lied. But she never corrected any of the serious blunders and lies and downright evil propaganda that Tucker pushed on her platform. Just what, a day or two before? Till today, she hasn't corrected it. Instead, said Dylan, who's another, TPUSA and a Jewish person, owns the Babylon Bee. They make these satirical memes about stuff. They made one about, Megan and a pager. That was she's not gonna answer. And Megan was so annoyed. She acted the same way the people she owns on the Democrat side did. I was offended. And her fellow, woke rights, like we call them now, came out on the fence. None of them have come out to the fence on any of the lies and vermin that Candace has pushed, or Tucker, or that other gay small twink, Nick Fuentes. Anyways, I actually got turned off of Megyn Kelly in 2024 after, the whole, I keep referencing it, the whole disgusting where is Kate stuff that started, and then Kate's Catherine, like she's called, Princess Catherine of Wales, came out to talk about how she had cancer. Prior to that, Megyn Kelly was one of, I think she had like the biggest podcast platform, aside from, monarchy haters, who was really going hard on Catherine. People were even coming for her like, hey, she's already said she's taking a break because she had, surgery. Why are you still like harping on it? She went really disgustingly hard on Catherine. And that's when I saw inside of Megan, I was like, yeah, no, I can't be with this person. Even when, the election period came and she was all Trump, 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 and I wanted to, see what other person, I didn't watch her, I watched other people. Same way I got turned up by Brett Cooper and I didn't really care about her when she got fired. I was very happy because I didn't want her on Daily Wire. She was like, no, bye. She and Megan were very weird. They should be true colors then. Anyways, now JD Vance, who I've been telling my mom about that, I don't think this guy is gonna get the kind of support he thinks he's gonna get when Trump's term's over and he wants to like run for that ticket. He's closest with Tucker. He was a first guest on Charlie Kirk's podcast after his death, where they did this whole guest speaking. They invited different people. JD Vance was the first, and he invited Tucker as his guest. I said, okay, that's fine. We're friends. But he's not come out to publicly condemn anything Tucker said. To publicly say our administration doesn't support this and all of that. But just yesterday, a Jewish reporter came out, questioning why about the Carlson family, where Tucker's brother came out as he's just going in a full tirade on Twitter, supporting everything he Curtis does. And then she also alluded to the fact that, Tucker's son, who's vice, I think he's press secretary for JD Vance, the vice president of America, yeah, Tucker's son, about questioning, well, if his father is like this and his uncle is like this, who's to say he's not? You know? And JD Vance went full nuclear on her. Someone who has what? As I now that I checked, 47.9K followers on Twitter, doesn't even have a big podcast or anything. Went full blown, a whole thread, just calling her a scumbag, saying how dare you, yada yada yada. I told my mom, I said, I don't like to brag, it's just instinct. If you do not support Tucker, you would not have invited him on Charlie Kirk's platform to talk at that time. I'm sorry. JD Vance go that hard when the Fuentes and his fellow, basement boys who all they do all day is just make noise online and masturbate and wait for their mother to give them food. Yeah. He didn't go hard when those kind of people were going against his wife and saying all sort of slurs against her and his mixed kids. He didn't. But he has time for a Jewish reporter on Twitter with 47,000 followers. I don't podcast, nothing like that. He has time to go after her, call her a scumbag and all sort of names, and say, how dare you? How dare you disparage whatever he thinks that guy has to be disparaged. Yeah, I'm not saying I'm going to go Democrats because no, they don't stand for anything I support. I was a Democrat before. Not really a Democrat per se. I just didn't like Republicans and I was more left leaning, but not really because I'm not pro LGBTQ and all that stuff. Sorry, I'm a Christian. I don't, yeah. But I think I'm going to be more center right. And I think that's what I've been leaning towards since last year. But the party is going full blown Nazi. People are trying to say that, oh, Trump is supporting Fuentes and Tucker because he said Tucker can interview who he wants. Tucker can interview who he wants. Trump can tell him to interview who he wants. Duh. But you're trying to use that as Trump supporting. Nah, that's not what it is. He's just saying something that makes sense. Because just like you can't tell Tucker to interview him, who to interview, you can't tell Trump where to go or what to do. So he's gonna make him hypocritical if he does that. And Trump has been so far one of the biggest allies politically in the world to Israel and the Jewish faith, making Jerusalem the capital, helping Israel during the whole Gaza war. So yeah, I'm not gonna say that Trump is with those people. But JD Vance, yeah, you're not gonna get, because people think that it's just right wingers that got Trump to that office. No, it's not. I'm not even a voter. I don't live in America currently. But from the facts of what we saw, a lot of people who don't even vote. You had the Mormon people from Pennsylvania. You had center-right people. You had people who came because of Kennedy from the other side, who were more liberal, but because Kennedy was there, okay, most of those people are not gonna support. Sorry, most of those people are not gonna support JD Vance, especially after this tweet. To me, this tweet is just like a confirmation of all my suspicions. I don't care about what he comes out to say. To me, that's like a confirmation. Anyways, I just really don't want to be giving airtime to the likes of Carlson and Owens and Fuentes. They're despicable, demonic people, in my opinion. I really don't want to give them airwaves. That's why I've not really spoken about it. But yeah, Vance, good luck to you. That's all I'm going to say. All right, that's to say for now. Bye, guys.